Hello, my friends. A cold, an acne flare up, and I still don't look as bad as King Viserys, which, made me feel a little bit better of all things that this episode could have done. So, hi, my friends. Happy Sunday evening. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sasha Raquel, and I'm here to guide you through our little discussion, chat, convo about episode 8 of House of the Dragon, everyone's favorite show. Like, listen, I watch a lot of TV, and it boggles my mind that there are shows out there, like, I don't want to throw shade on anybody's show. But, like, Riverdale and, like, CBS Primetime, and then there's, like, this show at the same time. Like, as someone, once again, who studied this stuff in college, I understand the reasonings behind why different pieces of media have different quality, content, etc., etc., but boy, it's wild. Like, you watch commercials while you're watching college or, like, professional football, and you're like, oh, okay, this is a show that exists. Like, blah, 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 whatever. You get associated with the network media landscape, and then you just look at something like this, and you're like, like at least time could deviate these things, but never mind. But anyways, guys, I apologize in advance. This is going to be a really short stream, and I majorly apologize to anyone who's been waiting on a She-Hulk review, because boy, was I, like, so excited to talk about this week's episode, and I have just been, a little sick, a little tired. Don't want to harp on that, because I'm sure it's annoying to hear someone with an already nasally voice talk even more nasally, and then talk about how they're talking more nasally. So, apologies all around. And sorry too that I didn't schedule this in time. I was cooking right before this, and Nick, I'm so sorry I haven't texted you back. I was glued in on this episode, but Nick, my good friend Nick over here, said he texted me before and was like, "No live stream tonight?" ? I couldn't let you down, Nick. I couldn't let you down. Nick, thank you. I appreciate it, my friend. I definitely already feel better compared to when I did that community post the other day. It's just been a head cold and a lot of congestion, and it's just like, it's all there, and you're just like, I just feel like crap. So, I actually was making pasta. Interesting that you would guess that. Do I have a stalker? That's not funny. But, anyways, yeah, so I feel better, but, the last 2 days has been me in this sweatshirt, staring at this screen right here, playing The Sims 4 and Disney Dreamlight Valley, and, blowing my nose. So that's the lovely picture I can paint for you. But not nearly as lovely as what this episode was, which, bravo to the director. I forget her name. She was in the After the Show. And, oh my gosh, like, the parts of this episode, whether they be, like, the shots of this episode, just, this show is art. And I was seeing on Twitter this week that it was trending that like people can't tell what's going on in the show. It's too dark. And, like, last week's episode specifically had a filter. Like, if you're complaining about any episode of the show being too dark, talk about Game of Thrones, like, that had some really, like, visually dark episode. I don't know. I get it. It's funny, but, like, I love the look and feel of the show, how it all kind of feels foggy or smoky, and I love it. Okay, let's hit some comments, because you guys are here. You showed up for me, and thank you. I appreciate it. And Amanda, welcome to the stream, says, great setup episode, a lot of dialogue, which was needed before the last 2 episodes. Agreed. I'm so glad that there are 2 more episodes of the show. They talked a lot about how, like, so much of this story is surrounding these kids and kind of understanding the environment in which they grew up in, of the Rhaenyra-Alicent kind of war, of Viserys basically having 2 lineages, 2 families, and, like, I love the fact that they've given us all of this prequel prologue-ness, and, like, it is pretty crazy to think that, like, I was looking at my copy of Fire and Blood the other day, because, that's my favorite flex, that I'm reading the book. Have I gotten much farther than last week? No. Lord Corlys has been born. Lord Viserys has not. So, or King Viserys has not. So that's where we're at with that. But, I thought like the whole book was like the entire lineage of the Targaryens up until like Daenerys and the Mad King and then Daenerys. No. It's about 200 to 300 pages of pre-Viserys, like Viserys' grandfather, and then Viserys' entire family being Rhaenyra, Alicent, Aemond, Aegon, Jace, Luke, all of them. So, and also it's crazy because I have an illustrated copy, and there's an illustration of last week's episode when when I think it was Luke took out Aemond's eye. Like, it's wild to think how much more information that the show still has to build on. Damon Say It was also my favorite because, listen, I knew in that moment, I was like, he's gonna kill this man. He is gonna, like, he is just waiting to be baited. He's gonna take this man out. He's gonna take him. Yes, okay, this is what my fiance Christian was just saying. We were talking about how, like, the actor that portrayed Vaemond Velaryon, Velaryon, I think that's how you pronounce it. He was so passionate about his character. He had so many thoughts and so many, like, truly, like, having a character that's potentially unlikable, like, not, like, in opposition to the protagonist, but, like, you feel so strongly for them. And he was talking about him, and I was like, oh, I feel like he's the second brother, so he's supposed to be the foil to Daemon. And Christian said, no, I'm pretty sure that Aemond is supposed to be the foil to Daemon, another second brother, a second brother that probably would have been a better king than the first brother. And, like, I just kind of, the brilliance of this show. Alex, happy birthday, Alex. Can we get some happy birthdays to Alex in the chat? I'm so sorry I didn't see this until now. Alex, I hope you've had the absolute best day, and I hope you enjoyed this episode so much. How's the purple sweater? Yeah, we've been wearing this. This is from, I keep wanting to do a video where I get all my merch from, but I keep wanting to buy more merch. You know what I'm saying? Like, all my nerdy clothing and stuff, so I might wait till I have a good amount of it. But this is from Adelaide's Fort. She makes the best quality, such amazing, nice stuff. I really love her brand. I really do. Viserys is definitely your favorite character, says Swirlybird. His entrance had me cheering, and his dinner speech had me tearing up. I'm glad he had one last good night with his family. I think he had such a great, like, last episode. Like, we all have known his death has been coming, and props to the man for surviving so long. Like, I really thought he was gonna be dead, like, in, like, 3 episodes flat. I was like, okay, he has tetanus, like, he's done. And he made it almost the whole season. And, except, okay, listen, Swirlybird, I agree. I thought his speech at dinner was moving. I was like, cheering when he was, like, making his way to the throne and was like, I will sit the throne today. I was legitimately cheering. I was so excited, that intense, that whole scene. However, man, and I know it's because of medicine. I know it's because he's in pain. I know he's not coherent. But the man really fumbled the bag in the 11th hour. And now all of this crap that's about to happen because of him. Okay? Listen, this is not like anyone else's fault. Like, literally everyone else has kind of gotten over everything. We could have survived at least a generation until, like, I don't know, like, let's be honest, Aegon, the elder, not Rhaenyra and Daemon's Aegon, which, I love that they showed their little babies. They're so cute. But, Aegon, Alicent's child, he clearly messes up a lot. He's drunk all the time. He'll probably end up finding himself killed if he's not, like, king. And so I honestly feel like a lot of this could have been avoided. So anyways, Viserys, thank you, but not thank you, because you actually royally screwed everything up. Even though you had kind of fixed it, you kind of messed it all up again. Yes, his death was wild. When Daemon said say it, I was like, Daemon is gonna mess this man up. Except I didn't say mess this man up. I said a different word that I'm not gonna say now on stream. Okay, sorry. I'm so behind on this. She-Hulk finale is going to be lit. I am super stoked for it. I have enjoyed pretty much every single second except for the wedding episode, and even that one I still like enjoyed. I still liked it. Of this show. Yes, it's amazing. It's wonderful. Thank you for all the well wishes, guys. I really appreciate it. I'm hoping come tomorrow morning I will wake up and feel like a new woman. Feel just done. I'm gonna be completely honest. I didn't even watch this trailer. I feel like there's so much stuff that I don't rush to watch stuff now. I don't know why. It's a weird side effect of this YouTube channel is I'm like, okay, well, someone will probably make a video about it. So I'll watch that eventually when I feel interested. But yeah, Blue Watcher, what decisions of the show do you think are puzzling? I would love to know. I agree. The cinematography is beautiful. It's fantastic. Nick says, top moment for me, Viserys walking to the throne, Aemon calling the boys strong. Oh my gosh, I know. Because it was at that point, the bastard word had already been thrown out, right? And it was who, obviously we're not all going to let this settle. And I loved the pig reference, which I did not get. I'm dumb. I did not get it. But when they set the roasted pig down in front of Aemon, it was because when he did not have a dragon 2 episodes ago, the boys stuck wings to a pig and said, you'll get a dragon when pigs fly, or this is your dragon. Which I was genius. And yes, okay, so my theory is the fact that Viserys, when he says my love at the end of the episode when he's dying, my theory on that is that he sees Aemma. That he sees his wife, his initial wife, the love of his life, truly, because no offense, Allison, but, the man had one true love, okay? And it was not you or your children. It was Rhaenyra's mother, okay? And I feel like he sees her, and that's why he says that. Because I don't think it's recognition that he just talked to Alicent. I think it's recognition that he's dying. And hypothetically, in the Game of Thrones world, if there were to be a heaven, maybe when he's dying, he would see Aemma. It was. He makes up for the lack of 2 eyes with that one. That stare, man. He doesn't need 2 to get that done. It was just so incredible. The way that the doors open and you're like, no way. And then they announce his name and then you're like, this is going to take forever. But how many amazing scenes have happened in that throne room? This show really said, we're going to emphasize how important things are that would have happened in this throne room during this time period when a reigning house, a reigning family was seated on the Iron Throne. What did that look like? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. The Blu-ray is already listed for December 20th. Ooh, that's interesting. I will probably not be buying it just because I don't know. Weird film community sidebar. I feel like once I got a collection of Blu-rays, I kind of just stopped buying them unless it's a really pretty steelbook, a Criterion that I really wanted that's on sale, or because I just have so many movies that I physically own that are behind me that you can't see now, that I still haven't seen, and that's kind of when I cut myself off. And so with the TV show, because I pay for HBO Max, I will be able to rewatch this at any point, which is such a luxury. I really do pinch myself because that was just not the case a couple years ago with Game of Thrones. But anyways, Philip says we're officially past the time skips, which I think is great, but I think it's important that we got to the point that we're at because we needed these characters who are really the children, who are the power players of the story rising. We needed them to be adults. And now, to me, I didn't realize how much of this would be based around the children when the show first started. And now I take back any of my questioning of why they would recast Alicent and Rhaenyra, because it's just not believable that what is her name? The actresses that play them. It is just not believable that they would have 17 to 22-year-old children. It just would not be believable. Oh, thank you, Blue Watcher. I appreciate it. Thank you. That's so sweet. Vayman should have died quicker. Sorry, not sorry, but so glad it happened. I mean, the man was sort of annoying. He was, but I do love, like, I loved how his actor talked about, like, this is a man who compulsively tells the truth, and he cannot stand when people, especially people in power, are going to stand there and pretend that something is what it is when it's not. Or is going to pretend that something is what it is not. And he is not there for these Targaryens taking over, these Targaryen bastards taking over his lineage. He's just not there for it. And, like, I thought he was great. Alex, how many years passed from episode 1? Let's do some quick math. Let's do some fast math. Okay, we first have the first time jump between the first and, like, third episode is, it's 2 years, because it's Aegon's second name day. So that's 2 years. Then we jump, I believe, another 4, because Rhaenyra ends up being like 20, 21, 22 when her and Daemon and Kristen Cole let that episode, okay? So then we jump 10 years to when the children start to appear. Give or take a year. So we're talking, she's like 32 now. Wait, I'm not doing the math. Dang it. So that was 16 years. And now we've jumped another, what did they say at the beginning of this episode? Like 5 to 7 years. So I would say between 21 and, why can I not do math? 21 and 23 years is my guess on how many years have passed in this show. Making Rhaenyra almost 40 though, because she was like 14 when the show started, so 23, 37. I guess you could still be having children then. So give or take, you know? Say 20 to 21 years to be sure, and Rhaenyra is like 34, 35. Okay, sorry. No one asked for, well, we were talking about that. That's what I think. I'm sure there's an accurate number online somewhere, but I don't have it. Animed says, I feel so bad. Viserys thought he was talking to Rhaenyra in his dying moments. Alicent will return on Rhaenyra full force now. Oh, absolutely. I was sitting there and I was like, no, this man is not doing this. He did not have this whole speech about unity and the family getting over their past grievances and being there for him and blah, 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 just to screw it up in the last moment. But he did. In classic Viserys fashion. I'm sorry to whoever it was. I think it was you, Blue Watcher, who said that your favorite character was Viserys. Or maybe it was Whirlybird. I can't remember. No, I'm mad at the man, okay? I'm glad he's gone, but he's royally messed things up. He couldn't even have the decency to live till morning, to have like a last moment of clarity to say, no, that's not what I meant, and then die. Nope, he couldn't do it. But such is the way of the world of Game of Thrones. Like, that's just how stuff is, so. Alex, I don't think it was Miguel. It was a woman, unless IMDb House of the Dragon. Let me pull it up. I want to get her name right, but she was a fantastique. Lord of the Tides. Sorry. I'm looking. No. I want the entire cast, all cast and crew. Directed by Greta Vasant Patel, who has also directed Meet the Patels, The Rundown, The Fast and the Furious. Interesting. most recently, she directed an episode of Runaways, The Great, Dead to Me, and Santa Clarita Diet, as well as Superstore, Atypical, The Minty Project, Speechless, Fresh Off the Boat, blah, blah, blah. You get it. I think she did a fantastic job. Fantastic. Did not expect that. Yeah, it was just very, like, it was the 10. Listen, I think this show is a master class in understanding how to build tension. That scene, okay, so you have this scene that we know is already going to be tense. We're prepping for it for like half the episode. We're going to the throne room. We're going to try to determine this. Like, I'm going to fight for my children. Okay, Allison's going to be sitting there with her father, blah, blah, blah. So we're standing there. Things are tense. This man is Valerian is standing there trying to defend his house, like trying to be like, I should get it. I want it, blah, 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 blah. And then Rhaenyra steps in, and then all of a sudden the doors open. And you're like, no way, the king is coming. Then you realize, oh my gosh, he is determined to defend his daughter, because his daughter was saying the night before, like, if you want me to be queen, you need to defend me. You need to defend my family. You need to defend your family. So he gets over there. He is climbing his brother, who he has banished in that throne room 3 separate times. And he says, like, he sits there and he's like, this should not be a dispute. And then Vaemon continues to get mad. And all of a sudden, done, dead, done. It's over. Sorry, guess you're not a successor anymore. Guess the matter doesn't matter anymore. Done. Oh my gosh. I just thought it was incredible. Absolutely phenomenal. Does anyone think Lord Corlys is alive or dead? Anyone who doesn't know, because I don't know, and I want him to be alive. But I feel like he's been such an impactful character. Although I do feel like last episode, him and his wife sort of had a falling out. So, I don't know. Young Aemon had a punchable face, but older Aemon is just like Daemon. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Okay, here's the thing. I read a quote from Fire and Blood of how Daemon is described as being the best of men and worst of men at the same time. Like, which I think is just, that's exactly how he comes across on this show. Like, he's destined for greatness, but also could be like horribly evil and like a screw up and whatever. And Aemon has so much more. He and Daemon share that anger towards really whoever is on the throne for multiple reasons. And just, I love that. Blue Watcher said that some of your criticisms were just the way that they handle certain characters in the show. I really love how everything's been handled thus far, but I'm not going to say that you have to feel that way. Yes, Anoman, that was my guess as well. I thought he was going to die right at the table, honestly. Did anyone else think that? I definitely did. The hype, okay, listen, and this is where I might just be out of touch, but like, I have enjoyed TV and movies so much more when I don't really like see what's going on social media leading up to it. Like, I one of the major things I definitely don't follow on Twitter, I've been sort of getting more into Twitter lately. I do not like follow anything really regarding the show. So I didn't know that there was any hype for it. And I just think like the next Battle of the Bastards or the next Long Night episode, it's just going to have to like hit you. It's not going to be like, I don't know. Maybe that's my opinion. But I do just think that if I could give any piece of advice to anyone watching now, it's as much as possible, if you can avoid what other people's expectations are for a piece of content, you can probably never be disappointed. Or if you are disappointed, then you know that it was truly something that you feel strongly that it was bad. You know what I mean? Never mind. Doesn't matter. I just think like, I don't know. That's my thought process going into these kind of things. So I did not know that people were hyping it up to be Battle of the Bastards, but like Battle of the Bastards is a pretty big episode to try to beat. So like I don't know that I would have even believed someone that was saying it was going to be hyped. I don't know. Okay, I need to catch up on these chats and then I'll probably end it. Apologies, guys. Apologies, but I can't do this for too long. Yes, Nick, I loved this. You did really feel the brother thing, and I feel like part of it is because like when Daemon's not vying for this power, when he's not vying for the throne or to be Viserys' heir, and now that he's married to Rhaenyra, and they have this like, I don't know, their marriage just very much feels like not only that it's full of love between an uncle and a niece, I get it, but it's not like an uncle and a niece these days, and they're also Targaryens, and it's a fictional show. I just feel the need to say that every time, because I'm scared that someone's going to clip this and be like, look at this girl, but I would just defend myself. Anyways, it did feel like they were actual brothers. It did feel like there was growth, because every time it just feels like one of them is not getting over some part of their past, or they're not emotionally mature enough to like move past this. And this episode, it really did just feel like they were united. They were from the same house, that they're brothers. Shouldn't rename someone Aegon. Allison wouldn't have thought he was talking about Aegon's dream instead of their son. See, and this is a policy that I've seen firsthand happen in real life, of people being confused for other people who also have their same name. And I get, and especially in this show, when it's all about lineage and name, and naming someone Aegon in this show is essentially saying, like, he is going to be the next great conqueror of our house. He's going to be as important to Westeros as this first man who established this land. And so I get it. I mean, it's the reason that Rhaenyra and Daemon also named their son Aegon. Like, literally at the same time, they said, here's Aegon the Third. Which might be a great defense next episode. The way I think about it is they could just say, like, what if he was talking about our son as the prince that was promised? He could unite the realms. Like, maybe. But agreed. I think it can be confusing for matters such as succession in House of the Dragon, or matters in the real world of legalities when you have the exact same name as somebody. Just my 2 cents on that matter. But I think specifically in this show, yeah, I mean, I get why they did it. It's a really great piece of dramatic irony, because we know that's what they were talking about. But Allison is like, Song of Ice and Fire, this man is making up stuff. He is dying. But like, what was that about my son? What was that about him being the prince that was promised? Anyways. Yes, she did not direct the Fast and Furious. She was additional crew on the Fast and Furious. I apologize for that mishap. Episode proves there are too many Aegons. Can't keep them all straight. We got 2 right now. Two. We also had 2 Viserys, but we only have 1 now. But Anoman said, I've been so spoiled on Twitter. I do think part of the problem is with this show, like, there's probably scenes in the book that are like really impactful that may not be translated in the show the exact same way. So it makes it interesting, but I think when you're doing something like that, you as a viewer or a consumer of the media have to assume or say, like, I'm going to go with this one and have this one be my like primary thing. Speaking of the book, Philip says, in the book, Daemon went to Driftmark to kill Vaemond, then his body is fed. Also, am I missing something? You guys keep spelling Daemon's name with a D. That's not how his name is spelled. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's so mean. I shouldn't be pointing that out. but I'm just questioning if it's being spelled that way somewhere else differently, because I've seen it in the book and it doesn't have a D, and on IMDb it doesn't have a D. So I was just curious. Anyways, okay, sorry. I'm sorry. That came across so jerky. I did not mean it that way. Yes, just like Robert's Rebellion, the Dance of Dragons will be built on confusion and lies. Alicent thinking Viserys betrayed Rhaenyra. I love this Anoman. This is a star, not a 7-pointed one. Just 5. Just a nice asterisk, emphasis, underline, bold. Yes, this exactly. It will be built on a lie. It will be built on a deception. It will be built on confusion and make people mad. Claire Kilnor directed episodes 4 and 5 of this season. I am excited for her to return because I think she did an incredible job. An episode is called The Green Council. Yeah, I wanted to say, listen, when he's at dinner, okay, Viserys at dinner, he's like, I just want everyone to get along. Look at my face. I am decaying. This stress, which I did think was a great symbolism for like what ruling does to a good man. That's literally the physical state it leaves you in. Like, his wounds are legitimately from his throne. Like, I just think the symbolism in that is beautiful. But on his left is his daughter and his brother and their children who are now marrying. Yay, we get to marry our stepsisters who are also our cousins. Because why not? That's just how it is in Game of Thrones. But that's on the left. And they're all wearing, proper Targaryen attire. On his right is his wife wearing green. Sir, and you're talking about the problems within your family. I think I see where the problem lies. And it's to your right. It's your wife. And, maybe he can't see that because that's the eye of his that is missing. And that's part of his face that has decayed the most. Also could be symbolic that most of this episode, Rhaenyra is to his right, Alicent is to his left, Otto is to his left, they're the one to his right. Shoot. Rhaenyra is to his left, Alicent is to his right. Literally decaying him. Oh, and his left hand, which has his wedding ring on it, gone. Anyways, that's my piece on that. I know, Nick. I know. I need to go. I need to chill out. I need to read a book. What I really need to do is watch Rick and Morty, because that's coming on. Guys, I'm going to do my quick little recording because I'm already here. I might as well. So feel free to stick around. And then I'm going to peace out. I'll say bye first. But here's the recording. And I'm going to do a thumbnail because I keep forgetting to take a thumbnail picture. And it's causing me literal pain and frustration when I edit these. So here we go. Hey guys, despite a cold and acne flare-ups, I still don't look as bad as King Viserys, so I would say that's a win. Hey guys, welcome back to this review. No, that's not what I want to say. Hey guys, today we're reviewing episode 8 of House of the Dragon. Wow, this was a crazy episode, but let me hit the high points of the episode, okay? 1, Viserys majorly fumbled the bag. In the 11th hour, he dropped the ball. He, in his confusion, in his medicated state, in his dying state, listen, I feel for the man, I do, but he really messed up thinking that he was talking to Rhaenyra instead of Alicent, because now this entire war and all the crap that's going to happen that we had sort of just pushed aside. Like, sure, the kids were still feisty. Sure, the kids were still at each other's throats. But with some time, some separation, some different kingdoms, things could have settled down, at least for a generation. But no. Viserys had to mess up. He had to tell Alicent about the Song of Ice and Fire, and Alicent had to selectively hear Prince that was Promised and Aegon, which some of my lovely live stream viewers reminded me, like, maybe this is why you don't name your child. Don't have, I don't know, like this is what gets confusing about continuing the family names. I get the legacy, I get the honor, but like, again, if you could have just called him Viserys or something, we still would have understood. Anyways, that was just upsetting because I loved Viserys this episode. Main point of the episode, which was the way that tension was just masterfully used in that throne room scene. When you're in there, you're already tense because this is an issue that's been going on for a while, but these people have literally been at each other's throats before, and you're like, how is this going to escalate? How is this going to get worse? And then King Viserys comes in at the highest point of tension to that point, bringing the tension even higher. And what you realize as a viewer is like, oh, these are the stakes. Like, before was not even like, we weren't even messing with anything then. Now we're at the stakes of this episode. He comes in, he struggles to his throne, his brother helps him, which, loved that. He's sitting on his throne. He is literally decayed, which I think was a beautiful symbol of what ruling and power does to a good man. Viserys, at the end of the day, even though he kind of messed things up and he wasn't the best of kings, the greatest of rulers, he was no conqueror, he was no warmonger, he was just simply a good man who kind of wanted a family and kind of through like the needs of the throne was taken down, killed, decayed. And I just thought all of his like being worn down was so symbolic of what that power has done to him and what that burden has been, which I can't say is all simply my idea. That's what Patty Constantine talks about in the after the episode thing. So highly recommend going and watching that. But then we have this man Vaemon, who is like, he has to, Vaemon Valerian. He just feels compelled to tell the truth. And like, I mean, I'm kind of glad he did, because we've been waiting this whole season. We know that those boys are strong boys, not Targaryens, not Valerians. And yet finally someone is willing to say it. And then he goes a step farther, says another thing, and says Rhaenyra, calls her a name. And right as Viserys is like, I will have your tongue, he is here, he's defending his daughter. You're like, yeah, Viserys, get it. Daemon says, say it, do it. And then immediately messes that man up. Immediately. That is why you do not cross Daemon Targaryen, and that is why he continues to be my favorite character. Finally, the last thing I want to talk about, because it was just impressing me across the board, and I thought it was so symbolic of like where this show is headed. So we're at the dinner, right? Viserys' last supper. He's sitting there in the middle. One side of his face is decayed, and his wedding ring hand, his left hand, is gone. Now, you could take the analogy I'm about to make, which is that the one side of his face that's next to Alicent is decayed. Alicent and the High Towers have worn him down and literally decayed him. And I would argue that it's his marriage hand that is decayed because of being married to them. But you could argue that that's, also the cause and the damage that Daemon and Rhaenyra have done to him. However, the main thing I want to point out here is he's talking about, like, I just wish this family could get along. Like, I'm literally dying. Do this for me as your grandsire, as your father, as your husband, as a loved one. Help me out here in my dying days and get along. You see, it's framed beautifully to where you see Rhaenyra on his, whatever. I'm not even going to try to pretend I know. I understand the directions looking into the camera. But I can't translate them from what I saw on screen to this. But anyways, Rhaenyra's got these shoulder, very Targaryen dragon-esque dress where it's a very sharp, like square cut dress and pointed shoulders, and it's red. And then on the other side, Alicent has this very demure, covered, modest green, and her sleeves are almost like slightly cap sleeves where they lean down and they don't have a very sharp edge at all. And I just think that costuming of them this entire episode, because part of me was like, why is Rhaenyra wearing the same dress? Like, she's about to be queen. Like, can we get this woman better dresses or more dresses? Not better, because it was beautiful. But I thought that was so symbolic of like their characters and kind of maybe the rising action of Rhaenyra versus Alicent. Alicent almost taking a step down in power after the king dies, but also just the fact that they are just complete opposition, even though like by all means they kind of want to get along and their actions prove that they want to get along. Anyways, what did you think about House of the Dragon? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to click away from this episode. I'm trying to do a little outro thing. So here's videos that you should watch after this. Thank you. Have a great night. Bye, y'all. Ooh, we're trying to work on a new outro, guys. We're trying to work. Anyways, friends, I gotta go. My voice is giving out. I can feel it about to happen. So I want to say thank you for being here in this stream. I so appreciate you all for being here. Nick, we will talk. We have so much to talk about. Y'all, I will be seeing you on the channel some way. Appreciate any of you who have also watched my shorts recently. I've been trying to post anything I posted on Instagram Reels over the summer. onto YouTube, which I know is kind of tacky, but I'm trying to do it to kind of figure out, get in the rhythm of posting shorts, because I just think that's a really fun content form and can allow me to create new stuff. And my challenge this month, after having the biggest month of my entire YouTube channel, thank you guys, like I seriously can't thank you enough. Last month was the biggest month in the entire lifetime of my channel, so thank you, seriously. But this month I wanted to try a completely different direction, push myself to do new stuff. So if you see more shorts lately, that's why. Have a wonderful night, everyone. I will see you soon.